Yay! Hello, everybody. Welcome to my 5-day challenge of having your own back during stressful times like these. Right now, there's all kinds of change going on in the world. Plus, it's the holiday season. And, rather than having joy, people tend to go into aggression and anger and, parking spaces and traffic. And it's really quite interesting um, what happens in the world during a time where we're supposed to be happy and peaceful and grateful. So I thought I would share some tools to make it a little bit easier for you to maintain your peace, your space, or even to get there if you haven't been in that space for a while. And I haven't like pre-figured out what I'm going to talk about. I have a lot of different ideas. So if you have something that you'd like to ask, type it in the chat. I can address it on the next one. These are going to be quick because I know people's attention span is really short. So let's just start with this. We are so aware of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, dramas, upsets. We're like a satellite dish picking up all those channels. What would it be like to turn the channel to the channel of you, just so you can get what's true for you and where you want to put your energy? It doesn't mean that you're blocking out other people. It's sort of like when you're on an airplane and they say put your oxygen mask on first and then help others. We've got to get a sense of our energy, our space, our consciousness to be able to make the choices that's going to create our life. Rather than being at the effect of everybody else, we can actually choose to contribute to those that will receive and those that we desire to contribute to. But it comes from having that base of having your own back, being aware of your energy and what you have available to contribute and when you don't. So having that is like the first step. So let's lower our barriers. Everybody has barriers up all the time. We think that they're going to protect us, but it really is sort of blinders and you don't actually see what's coming. So lowering our barriers, becoming present with our body, with our surroundings, with the space of us, the being, and expanding out in a big bubble around your body, all the way up into the sky, down into the earth, and out in all directions. And this is really a simple exercise to get present with you, with your energy, and it allows all those mind chatter thoughts that are going all the time to kind of quiet down, because the more space you occupy, the more you expand in all directions. All of a sudden, the mind just goes and quiets down. And so you can begin to perceive the energy of you. Just scan your body. If there's any tension, tightness, move, breathe into it. Ask for your body to dissipate and release any tension. Have it drain down through your body, out your feet, into the earth, for the earth to transmute it. And, just in a few seconds, you can feel so much more peaceful and calm. So now you can ask, What would I like to choose? What would I like to create? Where is my energy required today? What would be fun for me? What would it take to receive the joy that's possible, not instead of all the other stuff, but included? Because we tend to look at all the upsets and the things that aren't working and the problems and trying to fix. But right alongside that is joy, is peace, is all kinds of other energies. So, what would it take to turn our attention towards the things we'd like to invite more of? I also wanted to bring up the five elements of intimacy. This is a section in the Access Consciousness Foundation. The five elements of intimacy are not about other people. It's about, first of all, it's about with you. When you have the five elements of intimacy with yourself, then you can have them with other people. And the first one, well, they can be in any order. What do I want to start with today? Let's start with vulnerability. Since we're having the barriers down and we're expanding out, vulnerability is having no barrier to you or to what's happening around you. It's being totally present and being brutally honest with yourself. So many times people have a checklist, a to-do list, I must, I need, other people's needs, they need. And when we really look at these things for ourselves with total vulnerability, is that really what we want? Or is that stuff that we're buying from other people that that's what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to have this checklist. You're supposed to, grow up, go to college, get married, have babies, whatever. Is that truly what you desire? And it might be, but it also might not be. And having the vulnerability and stepping into that gives you a chance to look at what is true for you and be curious about it. You don't have to throw everything out with the bathwater. You don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You can just look at it and be curious and allow yourself the space to let the questions percolate and give you awareness. You don't need to ask, is this true for me? And then get an immediate answer. It's not about the answer, it's about your awareness of what's true for you. And that might come over time. Are you willing to allow the questions to be and to open up new spaces? We have been taught to answer, to get the right answer, to stick with your answer and never change. But what if that's not your true nature? What if your true nature is to be curious and see what else is possible beyond everything that you've learned, beyond the things that stick you, beyond other people's ideas of what's right or what's wrong? What is right for you might be completely different than what's right for someone else. But we can't get to that unless we're being really honest with ourselves, keeping our barriers down, being vulnerable, and being curious. How often do you let yourself daydream? I know when I was a kid, I was reprimanded for daydreaming. And so, you learn to not do it. But what if that's one of your greater sources of creativity? So give yourself permission to be curious, to daydream, to ponder the magic that might be possible. I mean, just feel the peace right now. Notice how you don't have a ton of thoughts in your head. When you ask these questions and you don't have a ton of thoughts, that's you accessing something beyond your thoughts. And how long can you allow yourself to be in this space without the answers, without all those thoughts, but just being curious of what else is possible? Where can I put my energy today? What would I like to choose? What will what will give me the greatest amount of joy right now that I can then send ripple effects in the world to everybody around me? I think that's good for today. So, I guess over the next few days, I'll share some of the other elements of intimacy and see how they work together and share some other tools for you to have your own back. And let's see what this creates. I'd love to hear from you if you have questions. And yeah, thanks for joining. Bye, everybody.